Hi guys, this is our first video on matrices, and set 1's notes will actually contain 2 videos, so just keep that in mind and we'll spread those all out over a couple days. So we'll start with just the definition of a matrix. And so a matrix is a rectangular array of numbers or symbols or expressions. And the plural of matrix is matrices. And so you'll see us say that as well. Remember, you can always stop the video if for some reason this is going too fast. And so you can see here we have a lot of examples of matrices. So it's an array of objects, and actually their location is really important. So every matrix can be defined by the row and by the column. When you think of rows, think of stadium seats. If you're standing in the middle of J. Fred Johnson Stadium and you're counting how many rows, you're counting this way. Or if you're looking at Allendale Mansion or the White House and you're asked to count the columns, you're counting these. So when you see a matrix and you are asked to find the dimensions of that matrix, what that means is that you're talking about how many rows does that matrix have and how many columns does it have. So for example, you've got row 1, row 2, column 1, column 2. So this is considered a 2 by 2 matrix. Here we have 2 rows and 3 columns. So this is considered a 2 by 3 matrix. And here's kind of a hint for you. If any of you have ever had the soft drink RC Cola, remember that rows come first, then columns. So RC Cola helps us remember rows, then columns. Each, and this kind of goes down to the bottom. Let me move this so you can fill in the bottom here. Each number in a matrix is called an element, and you can identify the matrix element by its position in the matrix. And what that means is you can identify it by that element's row and that element's column. So, for example, we'll go back up here. The number 1 is in row 1, column 1, and so we denote that with a lowercase a, row 1, column 1. 5, the number 5 is in row 1, column 2. The number 3 is in row 2, column 1. And negative 4 is in position row 2, column 2. So you can use those indices to help you out with that and defining where those are. One of the other things I want to mention is that when you are denoting a matrix in general, you use a capital letter. So for example, this entire matrix, we could call it matrix A. And then when we're denoting an element, we might say 0. We would use a lowercase a, and it's in row 3, column 2. So the uppercase represents the matrix in general, and then lowercase would represent an element. So the element that's in row 1, column 3 would have a value of negative 3. So this says to write the dimensions of each of these matrices. And so you can see this first matrix has 3 rows and 3 columns, so it's a 3 by 3 matrix. This second matrix has 1 row and 3 columns. And our third matrix here has 4 rows and 1 column. Alright, so we'll go to the next page here. So the next page starts off by saying, let's identify some elements. So here, see, we notice we have that lowercase again. So this is lowercase, so A subscript 1, 3. Row 1, column 3. A sub 3, 3 would be row 3, column 3. A sub 2, 1. So row 2, column 1. And A sub 1, 2, row 1, column 2. Okay, next, definition of equivalent matrices. So matrices are equivalent if they have the same dimensions and the exact same elements. So for example here, matrix A and B in pair 1, they're not equivalent because they do not have the same dimensions. We have a 2 by 2 matrix here and a 2 by 3, so those are not equivalent. These are exact same dimensions, exact same elements. And so what that allows us to do is it will allow us to solve for some variables here. So we are assuming that matrix A and B are equivalent. And so it says, what's the value of X? Well, that's super simple. X will have a value of 1 because it's in the same location, and Y will have a value of 4 because it's in the same location. Again, let's look at it here. X has a value of 4. We know that the expression y plus 4 will be equal to negative 2, and so we can solve that and find that y is negative 6. And we see the expression z over 3 is in the same location of 3, so those have to be equivalent, so therefore z is 9. Matrix addition and also matrix subtraction, and the matrices have to have the same dimensions. That's all you have to remember. And then that's super simple. So for example, the matrix 1, 3, negative 2, 5, and 1, 4, negative 1, negative 7. You just add what's in the same location. 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 plus 4, 7. Negative 2 plus negative 1 is negative 3. 5 plus negative 7 is negative 2.
Mama.
For subtraction,
Mom, I need you.
you're going to do the same for you on subtraction is to change this to addition sign and distribute that negative. And so that way you don't accidentally forget to subtract one part of it. So 2 plus negative 1 is 1. 3 plus 4 is 7. Negative 2 plus negative 1 is negative 3. 4 plus negative 7 is negative 3. In our next example, we see this isn't possible. We can't add those. They don't have the same dimensions. So let's take a look at this matrix. 14 plus negative 14, well, that gives us 0. 5 plus negative 5 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Negative 2 plus 0 is 0. This results in the 0 matrix, which we're going to use in just a second. So this next part, we're going to actually go back and look at some skills and some vocabulary that you did in very early middle school. So the first thing says, is addition commutative for matrices? So let me just remind you what commutative means. For numbers, the commutative property said that 2 plus 3 was equal to 3 plus 2. So what do you think about matrices? Would A plus B, notice I use capitals because I'm talking about a matrix there, would it equal B plus A? Well, one of the things that I've already gone and done on your paper is I actually used an example from up above. So I took example 1, we'll call this A plus B. And then for this example, I rewrote them, so we're doing B plus A. So let's see if we get the same thing. 1 plus 1 is 2. 4 plus 3 is 7. Negative 1 plus negative 2 is negative 3. Negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. And so notice we get the same matrix up above. So are they commutative? Yes. So the next property we're going to look at is matrix addition associative? So as a reminder, associative property would mean for numbers 2 plus the quantity 3 plus 1 is equal to the quantity 2 plus 3 plus 1. So for matrices, it would be would A plus B plus C, would that equal A plus the quantity B plus C? So once again, I kind of rewrote it over here for you, over on the side, so it kind of looks crowded. So I've got 1, 4, negative 1, negative 7, 1, 3, negative 2, 5, which notice that's actually the answer from up above, which we know. And then I'm going to add 2, 1, 0, 3. So when I add those, I get 4, 8, negative 3, 1. So then I'm going to see if I change where those parentheses are, and instead I add these two matrices together first, will I in the end get the same result? So let's add these. 1 and 2 is 3, 4, negative 2, 8, and then let's add these. So 4, 8, negative 3, and 1. And we can see we do get the same answer, and so there we go. They are associative. Okay, next, let's look at additive identity. So again, you might want to think back to what you know about numbers and additive identity for numbers. And so it's kind of, I think of it as looking in a mirror. So in other words, let's say you have the number 4. What would you add to 4 to look in the mirror and then get 4? Well, the answer is 0. So for a matrix of any size, what kind of matrix would you add to it to get itself? So you probably didn't have to think too long about, it's just going to be a matrix of the same size that contains all zeros. So I've got 1, 3, 5, negative 2, 5, 8. That's a 2 by 3 matrix. I just need a 2 by 3 matrix that contains all zeros, and I will get itself. By the way, that's called a zero matrix. So every single matrix will have an additive identity. That additive identity will just be a matrix of the same dimensions where every element of it has a value of 0. Okay, well, let's think about an additive inverse. So for numbers, the additive inverse of 4 is negative 4 because your answer there is 0. So when it comes to matrices, you're trying to think, what would you add to that matrix to get a 0 matrix? So for example, if I had the matrix 2, negative 1, 8, what would I add to that in order to get all zeros? So it'd be negative 2, 1, negative 8. This means is that every matrix will have an additive inverse, but it will be different for every single matrix. So one thing you can think about is if A is your matrix, the additive inverse of A will be negative A, or the opposite of A. Okay, and so let's do these really quickly, and that'll end the first video. So again, A minus B, you might want to go and stop the video and work the rest of this page by itself and see what you can come up with. So what you should get is 2, negative 2, 1, 1, 2, and negative 4. So see if you can come up with that. I'm going to skip to this one because I see my video is almost running out of time. So I want to solve for matrix X, and so the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 2, 1, 3, and negative 5. So negative X will equal 1, 4, negative 3, and 3. Then I need to multiply both sides by negative 1, and so matrix X will equal negative 1, negative 4, 3, and negative 3. Oops, let me move it up so you can see it there. And then we'll pick up the next video, video 2.